This month is all about youth, and they are being encouraged to evolve in all their pursuits by rebranding and reinventing their strategies for business, academia, health, and mental wellness as they work to be the best versions of themselves. And because it takes a village, we should all work together to encourage the now generation to pass the torch of achievement to the next with fervor and vigor. Now, you've opened another exciting edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Audrey Williams. Today, I'd like to invite you to dive within the pages as they unfold, because there's a lot to discover. So don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Friday, November 25, 2022. Government will be tabling a second supplementary estimates for the current fiscal year in early December. This is to facilitate the payment of salaries to public sector workers under the new compensation system by Christmas. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark says that with 15 unions now signed on to the agreement, the second estimate is necessary for the allocation of funds to the respective ministries, departments, and agencies.
What we will be doing is simply distributing those resources from the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service to each ministry, department, agency who fall under the rubric of the persons for whom agreements have been signed.
The December payment of the compensation review will be retroactive to April 2022.
There's a lot of effort that will be involved, Madam Speaker, and therefore what I can commit to is the effort to get it done. A number of steps are involved. This is a completely new compensation system. This isn't just a percentage increase, and therefore things have to be done from scratch. And there's a lot of work to do in a short period of time.
Minister Clark says discussions continue with the remaining groups, including the Jamaica Teachers Association and the Police Federation. He was speaking on Tuesday in the House of Representatives, where the first supplementary estimates for the 2022-2023 financial year was approved. It reflects a revised budget of $971 billion from the $912 billion originally approved. Government is moving to prepare legislation that will provide stiffer penalties for murder. Prime Minister Andrew Holness made the statement in the House of Representatives on Tuesday.
My thoughts on the matter, though not yet finalized, but the thinking is that we should give 30 years minimum for murder. The Minister of Justice has been directed to bring forward these changes immediately. We may not be able to catch, depends on how, we may not be able to catch this year, but early next year, we will be coming to the House with amendments to the penalty for murder.
Mr. Holness made the statement as he opened the debate on resolutions to extend the states of public emergency, SOEs, recently declared in several parishes and police divisions island-wide. The SOEs are in Clarendon, St. Catharines, St. James, Westmoreland, and Hanover, and specified areas of Kingston and St. Andrew. The Prime Minister also announced that a cabinet submission was expected by the end of December for tabling the Enhanced Security Measures Act in Parliament early next year. A new Fingerprint Act will also be brought to Parliament soon.
Currently, it is easier to get a DNA sample than it is to get a fingerprint. The Act is old and outdated. It doesn't contemplate the new technologies that exist.
The proposed amendments will expand the powers of the courts to order the taking of fingerprints and photographs for several offences that were not covered under the old legislation. It will also expand the offences scheduled and the groups authorized to take fingerprints, extend the time for the retention of fingerprints, and provide for the use of approved modern technology for electronic taking of fingerprints and the storage of data. Jamaica has formalized a major multi-agency effort to combat illegal, unreported and unregulated IUU fishing and transnational organized crime in the fisheries sector. The Blue Justice Initiative was launched on Wednesday at the AC Hotel in Kingston, with several agencies of government signing an agreement to support the sustainable development of the fisheries sector through intense collaboration. Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, Pernell Charles Jr., also welcomed the proposal for Jamaica to be the hub for the region for the Blue Justice Initiative. Through the International Blue Justice Initiative, support is given to developing countries for operationalizing the Copenhagen Declaration, to which Jamaica became a signatory in October 2021. The Copenhagen Declaration calls on signatories to promote a sustainable and fair blue economy for all that is free from fisheries crime.
The Blue Justice Initiative hub, with the necessary human, financial, and technological resources, will undoubtedly create a platform for more effective deterrence mechanisms against the scourge of IUU and the related crimes within our region. This hub will collect information from a range of sources in order to support regional policymakers by making available timely and accurate information so that countries in the region can be better in their response to IUU fishery-specific security challenges.
Government is working to operationalize the Information and Communications Technology ICT Authority within the next financial year. Minister without portfolio in the Office of the Prime Minister, Floyd Green, made the announcement at the Government of Jamaica Digital Technology Showcase hosted by eGov Jamaica Limited on Wednesday.
We've already identified that eGov will be transitioned into this ICT authority, and that has to be accelerated. The pace of that has to be fast-tracked to ensure that that is done so that we can start getting the benefits from that ICT authority.
In his virtual address, Minister of Science, Energy and Technology, Darrell Vaz, said eGov and the National Works Agency were building a network broadband infrastructure to facilitate the digital transformation.
This implementation is continuing steadily, with 85% infrastructure equipment being installed at core sites. A network operating center at eGov Jamaica has been built and is being outfitted with the required furniture and equipment.
Legislation to establish the ICT Authority was tabled in the House of Representatives on March 20, 2019. And finally, a new kitchen and dining hall will be constructed at the St. James Infirmary in Albion, Montego Bay. Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Desmond McKenzie, broke ground for the construction on Wednesday. His ministry is funding the $23 million project that is designed to provide residents with a more comfortable environment to eat their meals and improved working conditions for staff.
So they will have a new kitchen with state-of-the-art equipment in the kitchen, a dining area that is conducive for the residents to feel like somebody.
Minister McKenzie also officially opened a therapeutic park at the infirmary. The park, which features recreational spaces, a mural and water fountains, was completed at a cost of $5 million.
This therapeutic park that we have introduced into the new concept of our infirmaries is to provide some level of tranquility. Get them out of the ward. You put them in a nice little area, they hear the bubbling of the fountain and they see the lights going. They can sit in comfort, relax their minds, because a lot of these people don't need anything more than something that is uplifting, that will stimulate their minds.
Therapeutic parks have also been completed in St. Elizabeth, Trelawney and St. Mary, while others are being built at the St. Catherine and Hanover infirmaries. And that's it for JI's News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
How many more must die because of reckless drivers? How fast is too fast? Make we take time, no man. Obey the rules of the road. Drive with care.
Encouragement to meet issues head-on is one approach to empowering our youth. Let's examine the efforts made by the Ministry of Education to alter students' perspectives on a certain subject matter.
I love math and I use it in my everyday life. I am learning more math each day. I am a problem solver. I am born to do math. You are born to do math. We are born to do math.
We use it in our daily lives, yet the word that best describes how so many view this subject is daunting.
It is as if the brain shuts down when numbers are placed in front of you. Often this stems from an early experience of getting some things wrong and being intimidated ever since.
Everybody understands what was taught a while ago about interconnection?
For several years now, the Ministry of Education has been on a mission to change this mindset and demystify the subject through its annual observance of National Mathematics Week. This year, the week was celebrated from March 27 to April 1 under the theme Born to Do Math, Changing Your Mindset. In this exposition, students learn how to use math in music, social media, and garment making.
Our aim and hope is to change that attitude because, and I strongly believe, that all of us are born to do math.
The highlight of the week of events was a virtual mathematics exposition. Using practical everyday examples, games, and performance pieces, more than 2,000 students at the primary and secondary levels, along with parents, were encouraged to master math through constant practice.
Just as though the mantra is math counts for math, you have to count in music to make it. So, for example, let's talk about something simple. Imagine the notations that you are when you're reading notes in music. Look at a pizza. Pizza in its entirety is what we refer to as a whole note. And if you're counting a whole note, that's 4 counts. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4. How many pizzas that are just clapping? 1, 2, these are 3 pizzas. So if I put that in half, cut that in half, we have 2 halves. 2 on this side, 2 on this side. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4.
We use social media to create, share content, and participate in social networking. But did you know that math is also present in content development?
For me, simple mathematics come into play when it comes on to me creating my videos, starting from how I write my scripts, to shooting, to editing, and to then publishing. There is a guide that I use, and I got this from broadcasting, and it has to do with how we determine how many words can fit into a specific time frame. So for me, it's 3 words per second. So if I'm doing a 30-second video, I know that I cannot have more than 90 words. It's 3 times 30, and that gives you 90.
Heather Lane is a garment producing company. In our business, maths is like the base of everything. Our business starts by making a pattern. Now, making a pattern obviously is going to be dependent on measurements. When we do a pattern, we do various sizes.
Mathematics is used in our everyday lives, and with constant practice, we all can do it.
Have there ever been times when you felt violated or insulted, but were too afraid to express it? children caught up in these kinds of situations frequently become silent victims. Let's examine how the Victims Services Division offers psychosocial help to give a voice to young victims.
Children sometimes see too much. At other times, they hear too much. And many of them feel too much. There are situations where children become victims of crimes, seeing, hearing, and feeling too much of its effect. The hurt and trauma can linger without the proper intervention strategies. This is where government's Victim Services Division comes in. The VSD is having a far-reaching and sweeping impact as it provides help to this vulnerable group.
The Victim Services Division is that division within the Ministry of Justice, which is responsible for coordinating the ministry's support base for victims of crime. Anyone can become a victim of a crime. Victims of crime are often persons who suffer just about any crime you imagine. There are sexual crimes, small children, there is robbery, there is murder, wherein the primary victim, though, has deceased. The secondary victim, which is the family members, are there for the support that we give. We recognize that our victim population was getting younger. Whilst we still would have to communicate with them some of the complex concepts that are a part of the therapeutic process. Hence, we needed to find a medium that will allow for us to use their type of language, colors and sounds and movement.
Well, that medium the ministry found was the use of an animation bundle. It is comprised of 8 short films that offer therapeutic intervention and lessons to children who are victims of crime.
Your daughter was almost abducted today, but she was smart. She ran away. However, there is more she could have done. Walking with headphones on is a dangerous habit. You must be alert. Pay attention to your surroundings and the dangers around you.
Our animation strategy involves the creation of a character called Justy. And Justy represents all that is good and right about what should be done when a child is faced with a difficulty. A child seeing the animation immediately will be able to interact. They are short animation films, so the attention span of the child is not hampered in any way. And our intent is not just for them to watch Justy, but to become and to embody the teachings, the values of Justy in order to help other children.
I have not left the house in over 3 weeks. I came here to work as a helper, and now he tells me that I'm going to work at a nightclub.
Put these on and get ready. We're leaving for the nightclub in half an hour.
Anyone can be trafficked. It does not matter your age, gender, or race.
We also ensure that we would have elected to choose specific topics which were current and will remain current. Abduction is a reality. The matter of being bullied is a reality. Human trafficked is another reality, and among others. There are 8 animation films. And these are current, we have seen over time. We have had the opportunity to have children literally vet the animations, and we are very comfortable that they have the content that will reflect concerns that children would want to share with their friends.
But why was the Victim Services Division so sure that these animated videos would have or will even continue to pull the required effect?
The process of developing an intervention involves doing an assessment. We would have had the benefit of, over the last 20 years, 200,000 victims that we would have been able to assess. We would have had clear understanding of what needs to be done to provide support for the victims of crime, hence the program VSD. What we did was to use that 20 years of experience. We have a cadre of trained social workers, psychologists, various levels of competencies to work with children. And we have just managed to package this entire expertise into 8 animations. I am absolutely confident that they have what it takes to make a difference.
So even in all the challenges, the Victim Services Division is working to provide psychosocial support for victims of crime. The division is committing its unit to the advancement of victim rights, including those of our children. And your role can be as simple as speaking up.
For this Youth Month, invest your time in something you're passionate about.
And set a goal. Do not let the negative thoughts of individuals stray you away from that.
The primary socialization group for any child's development is their parents. The National Parenting Support Commission has therefore developed tools to help guardians raise their children and provide them with positive social experiences.
Wouldn't it be great if children came into the world so well adjusted or with manuals, therefore eliminating the need for parental discipline? This is not the case, however. Parents usually apply their methods or they depend on strategies taught throughout generations to guide their children.
8 in 10 Jamaican children in the 2 to 14 years age group experience violence as a form of discipline.
Coercive parenting involves the physical administration of pain as punishment. It also includes the use of harsh language that has the potential to hurt children's feelings and affect their general self-esteem and development. It also fosters aggression because what you're really teaching children is that when there is an issue, we must resolve the issue through harshness, through aggression, through coarse language. There's a direct correlation between coercive parenting and the aggression that we see actually in society.
Damaging disciplinary practices have moved outside of the home and into the national consciousness.
The time has come for the Parliament to have a debate on this issue and finally declare corporal punishment at an end, both within public institutions and as a means of discipline available to parents. I think it would be a forward-leaning step in making a stance against violence generally, and it would send a powerful message about the state respecting the inviolability of the person, whether or not that person is a child or an adult.
Children need guidance, and many wonder if not with the rod, then how? Enter the National Parenting Support Commission, NPSC, an agency of the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. The ministry established the commission in 2012 to provide parents with the requisite skills and tools to raise children.
We work at 3 tiers. We work at home, school, and community. Our first and most important priority, however, is to ensure that we're fostering the home-school relationship. We must ensure that parents as key stakeholders feel involved in the entire process of educating their children.
Now, to do this, the Commission assists parents in several ways, including providing psychosocial support, assisting parents with understanding the teaching-learning process, and conducting parenting education programs.
Through our effective parenting courses, we push proactive strategies. In other words, you are going to put structures in place before behaviors that you don't desire actually show.
Parents and guardians should consider the child's developmental stage when determining the best method of guidance.
A child who is very young, we encourage play. The child must be playing, and even the teaching learning processes must include play, because this is how they develop their imagination, their creative skills. This is how they also learn to resolve issues and to problem solve.
Young children, especially infants, are at the stage where they don't know right from wrong, and they can be impulsive. They may touch items that are valuable or dangerous. Usually, it is best to remove the child or the object from such a situation.
We don't believe you're to spank any at all, because that's a part of coercive parenting, and we don't believe that coercive parenting works. So what we encourage you to do, though, is to be firm and to be consistent. So if it means you have to say, do this instead, or do not go there a million times, then that's what you have to be prepared to do.
The teenage years can challenge both children and parents. With the physical and chemical changes happening in the body, teens may act out as they may be unsure of their place in the world.
This can be a very difficult time to navigate. So we ask that you start relaxing some of the very stringent rules, and you also have conversations and you compromise.
And to address challenges, caregivers can remove privileges.
If the child becomes stubborn, has a fixed mindset, if you will, that this is what he or she is going to continue to do, then you might need professional help. You might need to call the commission, or you might need to call a social worker or a guidance counselor to help.
Being a proactive parent means setting clear boundaries, letting children know what is acceptable behaviors and why rules are in place. And don't forget to model behaviors you want young ones to display. There may not be a one-size-fits-all for raising children. By assessing the right information and using effective parenting techniques, we can nurture adults willing to play their part in making Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. To tap into information from the National Parenting Support Commission, call 876-967-7977 or visit their offices at 37 Arnold Road, Kingston 6.
Every Jamaican has the right to know what is happening in Parliament, to know when new laws are being passed, and to give their opinions on legislation before either house.
Every Jamaican has the right to see their representatives in action, making laws, holding the executive to account, representing the people, working for the benefit of all Jamaicans.
It is your right to observe first-hand meetings of the Senate, meetings of the House of Representatives, and the meetings of parliamentary committees. You may also take a tour of your parliament.
To find out more about the Houses of Parliament, please call 876-922-0200, follow us on Instagram and Facebook, or visit our website at www.japarliament.gov.jm.
We've come to the end of our program. Get a recap of all you saw here and more on our website at www.jis.gov.jm. From all of us here at the JIS, I'm Audrey Williams. Bye for now.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.